Mission objectives are to extract the child soldier's commander and their captive, the General's #2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbeli militants. They took the #2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, the child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt. Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your iDroid. That prisoner doesn't look like the target. He's a dead man at that rate. The contract doesn't mention him. What do you think? Worth rescuing? Okay, subject is in. Another group of child soldiers. No, must be a squad they had out on patrol. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself. Boss, another child soldier has entered the village. Must have been out on patrol. Looks like they had more than one patrol out. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself. That's the target prisoner. Okay, that's the General's brother, his #2. Get him out of there, boss. That's the target prisoner. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a full extraction. Get him out by chopper.
Rangi ya General ya Bakala Ilumbu Mosi Tata ya Bankaka na Mono Elaka Mono Mambu General Saraka.
There he is, the commander. Extract him.
Lumbu, Mosi, Tata ya Bankaka, na Mono, Telaka Mono, Mambu General Salaka. Bantu ya Buta, ya mbele, ke Tinkaka Mosi, Beto Nyonso, ke Bampangi, Atampidina, ya Ikentango, ya kuvutuka diaka, ni mafe, Menga.
Roger.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
All that's left is to extract the commander. You've completed your objective. Now get out of the hot zone.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional. Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care. Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper. Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa. Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid.